You may have seen on our recent Viewers' Choice Award, the top prize for the best coffee anywhere in the Tennessee Valley area went to our next guests. And who doesn't love a good cup of coffee? Beyond that, who doesn't need a good cup of coffee, and whose workplace is not better when they have a good cup of coffee? I know ours is. Let me introduce you to the folks from Mad Priest Coffee Roasters. They're right down here on Broad Street. Michael Rice is the owner. Michael, good to see you. And you're brought along Adam Cintron, correct?
Correct.
Who is your retail manager. Guys, first of all, congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
All right, Mad Priest, you guys have been in business 5 years. Got a big birthday coming up this month, correct? Yep. Tell me what makes Mad Priest so deliciously different.
Yeah, so the term specialty coffee in our industry it's difficult and it's very complex. The way I like to explain it to people is a couple things. You remember back in the day when you see Arabica beans on bags? It was 100% Arabica.
Sure.
They were advertising that because back in the day they used a lot of Robusta. So we're talking about different varietals. Mm-hmm. Well, nowadays in specialty coffee, we're always using Arabica. It has more sugar compounds, more acid compounds. So that's one area, is just the actual quality of the beans, less defects. The other area that we really like to highlight that makes our coffee really great is the producers and the people in those countries that put so much energy and effort into that coffee. And there's so many variables that really dictate whether it comes out good, from how it's washed to how it's dried to how it's milled. And I think a lot of people just forget when you buy that $2, $3 cup of coffee, how many hands touch that.
Sure.
And how one little mess up in that chain, even the roasting process that we oversee, we're just stewards of this entire chain, one piece, and then even our baristas are another aspect.
Well put.
All of those are part of it.
To you, since you're in charge of the retail side of things, what makes the cup of coffee, what makes a good cup of coffee better in the hands of you and your team?
That is exactly where our passion for a genuine guest experience comes into play, and holding our staff to a caliber that we think, what would it look like for us to walk out of a shop with a smile and a reason to come back? And that is a genuine human connection, especially in the times we're in now. Because
a lot of coffee places, and I'm not going to name any names, although I could, they're so generic. It's not that the coffee's bad, but it's just kind of a generic, here you go.
Right.
What makes the folks at the Mad Priest, I guess you guys have got that passion that a lot of the other folks in the area and in the particular industry don't. What else separates Mad Priest from some of the other coffee so-called specialty shops?
I'm going to push back a little bit on that. Yes, we have great coffee. There's other shops in town that have amazing coffee. I'll always think mine's the best, arguably, I guess. Right. But I think one of the things that's cool is the specialty coffee shops in this city. A lot of us actually come together and talk about the producers that we're working with.
So you share your secrets instead of compartmentalizing.
I really do feel like the specialty industry has that camaraderie in comparison to what I like to contrast, which is like anything that's instant, anything in Keurig, what most people buy at the grocery store. That's what we're trying to combat against. We're trying to teach people, because at the end of the day, what we are doing when we specialty roast is we are roasting to try to pull out the intrinsic value and flavor of the bean, versus over roasting or roasting it to the point where all you're tasting is the roast, the actual darkness of the roast. And there's a lot of shops that do that in town. So what we're doing is we're roasting to try to pull out the sugars and the acids. And we have so many people that they grew up their whole lives drinking Nescafe to just McDonald's, but they drink ours black and go, whoa, why is it sweet?
It's a different thing.
Why does it have citrus? Why? That's all natural, right?
And you guys do not, in fact, you go out of your way to kind of educate some of your customers who ask the questions about it.
That's a huge part, yeah.
I've been in there several times, and I've heard you answering a question that I wouldn't have thought to answer about somebody who apparently doesn't know what really makes a good cup of coffee stand out. And it's such a compliment to so many meals.
Yeah.
You've brought 3 different kinds here with us. We have got the Columbia coffee, which good, no doubt about that. And then you have the Dark Night coffee. I want to hear about that. Tell me about Dark Night.
Well, I'll touch on Columbia, and Adam can touch on Dark Night. Columbia is actually interesting. One of the reasons I brought it is because it's one of the highest producing coffee countries, and it's well known. People love Colombian coffee.
Sure.
But right now, with all the riots going on in Colombia, all of our contracted coffee is stuck at the border.
Really?
So even right now, coffee is one of the highest traded commodities, but the slightest bit of global politics or anything going on in the world can totally disrupt that chain.
Right.
So we have $100,000 worth of coffee just sitting there in the country that we're waiting to see if it's going to get released week to week because of what's going on over there. So
We've only got a few seconds left.
Sure.
Tell us about Dark Knight and then Rwanda.
Awesome. So our Dark Knight blend is one of our best sellers, and that's because it's bold, it's rich, it's going to definitely get your day started right, and it's a blend that we, hand select and make sure that it's going to hit you right where you want it to every time.
And the
one of the
Rwanda.
flavor notes is puppy kisses. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Puppy, how do you go? How do you go wrong
Sunshine,
with that?
puppy kisses, and relief.
How do you go wrong with that?
on.
And you guys are right down here on Broad Street. Delicious cup of coffee. Congratulations on the win and the Viewers' Choice
you.
Award. So stop by and see him at Mad Priest. I want you guys to come back and we will ask, why is the Mad Priest mad?
There we go.
We're going to save that for our next visit.
Thanks,
Stick
Chip.
around. Make sure and check the guys out. They are a super, super organization right down here next to Cuck's Bakery on Broad Street. And we will be right back after this.